Hey, this is Ryan at GoFab CNC, and today I'm doing a video talking about the differences between your Z-axis and your automatic torch height controller. Some people refer to the entire Z-axis as an automatic torch height controller, and while it does play a factor in maintaining the distance while cutting, it's important to know the distinction. For example, the process of maintaining a certain distance away from the material while you're cutting a part relies on actual feedback from the plasma cutter itself, whereas the piercing process doesn't rely on the plasma cutter at all. We use what's called a floating head design for our Z-axis, meaning it's not pushed down with force but falls down with gravity. This tab you see in the middle prevents the torch holder from dropping, but as the tab is driven down by the Z motor above, gravity makes the torch holder drop with it. The torch will stop falling when it reaches the surface of the material, but the tab will continue moving down till it presses a limit switch on the torch holder, informing the table that the surface has been found and the piercing process can begin. The first step in the piercing process is finding the ignite height, and that's how high above the metal the torch is going to be when it fires the flame. You want the torch to be high enough that when it fires the flame it doesn't blow back any melted metal onto the tip, but you want it close enough that it gets a good connection with the metal and it'll take off. If you get an error that it cannot get a connection with the metal when it's piercing, you need to lower your ignite height to help it get a better connection. The second step is the plunge height, and that's how close to the metal it's going to get to make sure after firing that it pierces all the way through. And the final step is the cut height, and that's how high you want the torch to be at the very end of the piercing process when it first starts to cut. All three of these height values can be accessed from the Edit Cut settings screen on the tablet, and they're all saved independently for every material and thickness. If you ever change them, just hit the default switch to go back. And the process is the same even if you're not using a torch. You could use a PVC pipe if you want to, and it'll do the same exact process. It all relies off of a limit switch that's on the back of the torch mount that you can see right here. The automatic torch height controller does require the plasma cutter, and it does have to be firing. It's reading the cutting voltage that's coming out of the plasma cutter as it's cutting, and that cutting voltage will increase if the metal is moved further away from the torch, or decrease if the metal is closer to the torch, and it's trying to maintain a specific cutting voltage. There's three different modes for the torch height controller. The first mode is off, and when it's off, it's not going to raise the torch or lower the torch regardless what the metal does. That can be a disadvantage if you're working with curved metal because it'll cause the torch to drag or get further away from the metal and lose connection. It's very beneficial though if you're doing something like expanded steel and you don't want the torch to dive over the openings. The second mode is on average, and in this mode, every single time the torch goes down and pierces, it's not going to move the torch up and down for the first half inch of cutting because it's reading what that cutting voltage is. And then after that first half inch, it's going to maintain whatever average it got during that section. The disadvantage of this is if you're starting off on an incline, you're not going to get a very good reading, and more than likely the torch is going to end up dragging or being too far away from the metal when it's actually cutting. It can also be a disadvantage if you're working with thin metals that deflect a lot, because that piercing process can cause the metal to push down, and as it raises to the ignite height, the metal can flex back up with it and it'll end up firing directly on the material. The third way is on saved, and in this mode you can save a cutting voltage, and every time you go back to cut it's going to use that cutting voltage, so it won't need to wait half an inch or a quarter of an inch in order to get an average. It'll instantly go to that value. The benefit of this is if you're starting on an incline, the second it fires the plasma it's going to raise to that height to get to that cutting voltage. Same thing if you're doing steel that's thin and flexes. If it pushes down on it and it pops back up and ends up firing, pressing on the metal, as soon as it fires, it's going to jump up in order to get back to that cutting voltage that was saved. This is an example of using the on average mode. You can see that it didn't have any time to react because in that first half inch it was already on an incline. This is using the save voltage mode, and you can see even though the metal is thin and it flexes, and even though it's starting on a hill right away, it instantly jumps up. And to get to that, you go to the Edit Cut settings, and you'll see right here where it says Save Cutting Voltage. You can do a test cut by pressing that button, and it'll tell you that you're doing a test cut and give you the information. It'll open a little 2-inch line that's kind of hard to see on the screen. But you want to find somewhere that's not going to go over a ridge. It's going to be as flat as possible. And you want somewhere that's not going to flex, because you want to get a good reading, since it's going to be one you use every time you go back to this material. So we're going to move to this low section because it's good and it's solid and it doesn't flex. Now when we go back to that screen where it did say 00 for the saved THC voltage, you're going to see there's an actual value in there and an option to use that. So we're going to turn that on so that we can use that saved cutting voltage every time we come back to this material. Now we're going to cut that same piece of corrugated again using number 3 method, which is the on saved for the THC, and you'll see how much better it works. And it doesn't matter if you're starting on an area that's flexible or if you're starting on a ridge. It's going to instantly go to that saved cutting voltage.